Hello and good evening and welcome to another episode of A Parson's Progress. And progress has sort of been made today, I think. I'll have to go over it all. I hope you're well. Drop of Malbec. I've decided to get one of my meerschaums out today. Can you see it? I never know quite what the palm thing is supposed to do, but you see them do that, don't you? Nice meerschaum in just a straightforward billiard shape. Some nice aging to it, patination. But it is not about that which is causing a certain amount of excitement. A rivulet, if you will, of pleasure is arising as I speak. And it is because of this. I have to put my pipe down again. Can you see it? I'll try the old trick, whatever it is. That is a Dunhill table lighter. It weighs a ton. It weighs about the same as my Leica M3 camera, which incidentally went back today. Weighs an absolute ton. It is silver on solid brass, and I saw it in Bishop's Castle today. And I kind of like a lighter as a pipe smoker. Probably not quite as big as that, but let's see if we can put it to use. Probably dates from the 1920s, 30s, but I shall do some more investigation because there is a patent number on it. Beautifully engineered. And, well, we've got a flame. Ridiculous, isn't it? Works, though. And it goes down with a lovely clunk, look. Like a lot of things in those days, over-engineered to perfection. So there we have it, my friends. Today's little haul from an antique shop in Bishop's Castle. I always like to come back with something, and it was very reasonably priced. I'm looking for my tamper. I've noticed on all the pipe channels, people are always looking for their tampers, aren't they? And I am no different. In fact, I don't think I've got one. I'm sure I brought one up with me. Perhaps it's... oh, there it is. Well, I hope you like that lighter. I do. You see, that will sit in the caravan now. My diminutive television. And I won't bother using it all the way through the video. That would be stupid. It's not really designed for pipes, I don't think. I mean, as you saw, it worked. But it'd probably be nice for the odd cigar, don't you think? Maybe Christmas. But you can't beat a Zippo. Doubles up as a flamethrower, don't you know? Well, I made a video, was it yesterday? I can't remember. It's Friday today anyway. I think it was yesterday. It's Friday today, and the chap, Carl, who was on the last video I did on the borehole, I think it was digging a borehole episode 5, Carl was fiddling about with all the pipe work. He turned up today, unannounced, and he watches the programme, so I hope you're all right, Carl. Kicking back on a Friday evening with a large G&T or a Newcastle brown ale. Anyway, Carl turns up with a plug in his hand. I said, "What's that for?" And he said, "Well, that's to put on your cable." I said, "Oh yeah, and what's that for then?" And he says, "Well, that means it will turn your water on every hour for 10 minutes. I said, that little thing can do that? He said, yeah. That's not how he speaks at all. In fact, I don't really know why I'm talking like that. But it, you know, one of those digital plugs that comes on and off and da. It means I don't have to get up out of the caravan, constantly switching the water on and off to, you know, to get water cycling through the well. Now, what I might show you, but I'll do it at the end of the video. Well, in fact, I might just blister it on into the middle of this while I'm talking. Oh, unless we've thrown it out. Anyway, we poured some water, spring water, from our well into a discarded mineral water bottle. Crystal clear. I never tasted it, but my clerk of works did. I'm like one of those old popes where they used to have a wine taster to make sure one's chalice was not poisoned. Anyway, my clerk of works was more than happy to drink it and said it tasted divine. It wasn't metallic. And there we go. But then she grew up drinking pond water. She's immune to everything, you see. Country lass. I'm not so brave. I'm going to wait till the chemical tests come back. I'm too bloody old to get poisoned. Well, I suspect it's absolutely fine. So yes, that happened yesterday. So that was good. So the murky water in the hot tub really is all that sediment from the very first squirt, if you like. And because the tub is on a slight incline and the plug to release water out is in the middle, a lot of the sludge and slurry and stuff just goes to there and stays there. And so whenever you refill it with more water, it just brings up all that other cloudy stuff. I suppose it'll dissipate in time. It's not dangerous. But I did rather think that, oh dear, I've got really cloudy, muddy looking water, but it's crystal clear. So that's a win I had today, my friends. Acquiring my period Dunhill table lighter, beautifully engineered. A bit of brass is showing through, but I don't care. In fact, I like those old brass-bodied Leicas where the brass is showing through, don't you? On the black models. It costs a bloody fortune now to find a black paint Leica M-series camera. You know, the earlier ones. Where all the brass has been rubbed and you can see it through the black paint. And I mean, I'm talking tens of thousands. You might find one under 10, but a lot of them are dodgy. And talking of cameras, as I said, I returned the one that I initially had. I've got another one now in its place. I haven't put any film through it yet. But to answer the question that I raised yesterday, why my film was so bad, it was my development, and I did everything according to the book, but it was with one of these gadgets from Lomo, and obviously it's a load of rubbish, so that can go back. Hopefully, it might be I might be out of the 30-day whatever it is. I'll have to get a return in quick. I think it's rubbish. So I bought a Patterson tank, which is another thing you can develop filming, which was cheap as chips, about a tenner. You put your roll into that. You have to put your hands in a black bag and do it all, you know, without aid of vision. You've got to do it by feel, as it were, in the black bag. But anyway, as I said to you, I sent a test film over to some lovely people in Cornwall, actually. And 36 exposures, all came back all exposed. Now, I don't know the quality of them yet, because I've just sort of looked at the negatives. But what you have got is 36 exposures, which you certainly didn't with my when I did it in the Lomo. 1 or 2 came out, and some were dodgy. Oh, waste of time. Waste of chemicals as well. I did it twice, too. So I wasted film, and I wasted chemicals. But, you know, it's all part of the learning, because, you know, you learn so much. as you're doing it. Anyway, I hope to goodness, and there's no reason why it shouldn't, this present Leica that I have shouldn't perform well. As I say, I can't really ascertain the quality of those negatives. I've got a contraption which sends the light through it and captures it on your phone and can turn it from a negative into a positive or whatever it is. And then I can obviously capture those images and show you. And you can tell me what you think. If you can hear any chopping outside, that's Lisa. Grand lass. She's chopping logs for the tub. I've got a bow saw that should arrive any time soon. Might already be up the end of the track. So I can saw logs by hand, manually. Like the good old days. I've got a chainsaw, but I'd rather do it manually. I'd rather put my back into it. I'd rather burn a few calories. I'd rather get a bit of muscle on my arms. So I may have a hot tub tonight. I could have done a video from the hot tub, but I thought I'd do one now in here. Forgive the baseball cap. I wore that when I was out in Bishop's Castle. I'm not quite ready to, although they wouldn't mind, go into the streets of Bishop's Castle in a dressing gown and a smoking cap. Nobody bat an eyelid in that place. Extraordinary place. Always empty. Or maybe they know I'm coming. And so, therefore, so the film arrived today, all exposed, which means that camera that I sent back was probably fine in the end. I feel a complete Charlie now. Well, not really. There were some bits about it. There was a slight dent on it that he didn't mention in the description and a few other things. So anyway. But we'll see, and we'll see how this new, this other Leica should perform all right. It was a camera shop that was selling it, and they went into great detail about camera speeds and shutters and everything was working and that blah blah blah. And whereas the people selling the original Leica just said excellent used condition or something with no other information about the actual functionality of the camera. So I achieved a return. I tried to return something else, and apparently it was Every, not Royal Mail, so I couldn't send that. In fact, it was 5 litres of linseed oil, which I originally was going to use on the tub. Because you know I oiled my deck with, what was it? That wasn't linseed oil. It was something that protects it from the sun. UV. And so I bought another 5 litres of that, and I'm going to use that on the tub, because I read somewhere if you put linseed on some of these hot tubs and whatever, it can promote algae and mould. I thought, I don't want that. So I sent that back. Anyway, I've got 5 litres now of the stuff I used on the deck. Anyway, and I won't do it today, I can't be bothered, but tomorrow I shall apply that to my hot tub. So it may continue for a number of years more, giving fine service to the Hermitage, where it can minister unto me after a hard day's labour in our Lord's vineyard. So anyway, so a return was successfully achieved. A bow saw is going to arrive. My film has come back, all nicely developed. And not least, it'd be good to see how that my various lens, well, it was the Summicron 50 on that roll, so it'd be interesting to see how that has performed. What else? Oh, and of course, the marvellous little trinket from Bishop's Castle, my Dunhill table lighter. That shall give me lots of pleasure looking at that and using it. And of course, that is what one must do in life. One must achieve those things in one's home that one believes to be beautiful or knows to be practical. And this is both, of course. I can hear footsteps. Now, it could be Monty, it could be anybody. No, it couldn't. It could only be Lisa or Monty. Monty's having great fun, but Monty's far more interested in the log chopping than me spouting on the video. Oh, and I'll tell you what else arrived today. A water tester thing, an electronic one. Now, it won't tell you if there's bacteria, I don't think, but it will tell you about the amount of dissolved heavy materials within the water. So that should be quite interesting. I'm not going to trust it to drink it, but it wasn't expensive, and I just thought, well, it'd be useful anyway. I'm not sure how it works yet. I'll probably explain it after I've used it. So that came, which is fun, isn't it? Oh, and thank you for your comments about yesterday's video. Always nice. I've been hemorrhaging a few viewers, but that could be for a number of reasons. All the viewers I hemorrhage, I tend to make up again anyway, and then sort of overtake whatever I've hemorrhaged. It's a sort of process of wastage. I mean, they may still watch the videos, I don't know. Now, it could be for a number of reasons. One, they may think I'm just a sort of old, pretentious buffoon, and they'd be right. Others might think, well, I wanted to watch this channel because I thought it was about Land Rovers, and they bail. Or some say, well, I watched this channel because I thought it was about Leica cameras, and they bail. Or some say, oh, well, I might have watched Leica because I thought I was going to get spiritual sermons every day, and they're not, so they bail. And there may be others who just think that I'm a very poor example of a contemporary priest. You see, a lot of priests like to present an image to the world of, oh, such holy piety. And they develop a certain way of talking and a certain way of behaving, because they believe that is what the faithful expect from them. And indeed, the faithful do expect it from them. Now, if I was to do this, everybody would assume I'm a good and holy priest. But of course, I know priests. I know hundreds of them. I've been a priest long enough, and I know what they're all like behind closed doors. So that all that doesn't wash with me, all that sort of super piety that is presented to the faithful. I'd rather just be yourself. You know, because then you know what you're getting. And frankly, you can be a person with a highly ethical, moral compass without all that nonsense, talking like that and behaving like that. Because when push comes to shove, love is action. I've told you that before. It's not about, you know, pious sentiments and saying the right things and assenting to the right points of the creed and this, that and the other, as important as those things can be. But, you know, when the rubber hits the road, it's what you do in any given situation of crisis or how you deal with people. I dealt with a very nice man today. I was just about to alight my carriage, which in this case was a Honda CR-V, because my Cougar isn't operational. And I noticed this glorious Land Rover, but from the back I couldn't quite work out whether it was a 3 or a 2A or what it was. So I jump out and I struck up a wonderful conversation with the owner who was just coming back from the shop. And he'd bought it from, you believe it or not, I said I went up to the flying club at the top there. And he got it from there. It used to tug the gliders. Beautiful old thing. And he's restored it by hand himself. I looked inside the engine bay, and I mean, you could eat your dinner in there. It was incredible. I wish actually I had videoed the conversation. Lovely man and a beautiful Land Rover in a sort of desert colour. What would you call it? Desert yellow or something. Smashing vehicle. But it was slightly oversized wheels so that he felt were more economical, got more fuel economy. So it had the impression of making it look a bigger vehicle than mine, but it wasn't. It was just a lot higher. Splendid. what a lovely man and what a lovely vehicle. I wish I could have shown you. But, you know, it was lovely to have connected with him, and of course connecting through him to the gliding club. And I connected with some of the people at the gliding club a few days ago, didn't I, when I went up the mountain. And so you see, with a little effort, you can join the dots. You can speak to people. You can communicate with people. And it's a lovely thing to do. I mean, I could have ignored him completely. I could have been all very shy and just had a little butchers at the Land Rover and got on with my my tasks for the day. But no, I doorstepped him and chatted to him, and he was wonderful. And he was more than happy to show me all around the vehicle. I mean, there may have been a queue of about half a mile of vehicles waiting to go to the pump to get some fuel, but no, he took his time. He showed me the interior. Oh, it was absolutely beautiful. I've never seen an engine bay like it. All repainted inside, with lovely blues and blacks. The radiator was black. Oh, magnificent. Much nicer than mine in some respects, but then I think he only paid $1,500 for it. It'd be worth a fortune now. He's done a grand job. I wish he watched the channel. I should have mentioned it to him. So that was jolly, and I got to speak to lots of dealers today. I went into one antique shop and I was looking at gate leg tables, but didn't buy one. I thought they're a bit on the rich side for me. They weren't vastly expensive, and they were at least very old. And will go well in here, but I had my clerk of works with me, and she said, look, you really shouldn't be buying any more stuff for the house, and she's right. So that was all very pleasant. And Monty's fine. So there's been quite a few little wins today, really, one way or the other. And there isn't really much for me to say other than that. I'm just going to jump in a hot tub, smoke my pipe. I shall take a drink with me, and a book probably. I'm just finishing off Charles Williams' Descent into Hell. He's absolutely bonkers, that chap. He's one of the Inklings, you know, from Oxford. Contemporary of C.S. Lewis and Tolkien and all that lot. Used to go down the pub with them. But his writing is utterly balmy. I don't recommend it, really. I mean, yeah, read it, but I mean, it's torturous. And I've started a new Audible book in bed, but I can't remember what it's called now. Is it Hugh de Singleton Chronicles? And there's loads of them. There's about 17 or 18 of them. So I've started on number 1. It's about a surgeon in medieval England. I'm giving Shard Lake a break for now. I think I've only got one more Shard Lake to go anyway. And it's a lovely day. There's not much wind. It's not red hot, but it's bright and sunny. So, you know, I'm quite a happy bunny today, my friends. As we approach the weekend, I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. I'm a bit concerned about our friend, the Piper X1X. He's not made any videos for a while. I know he's not been well. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. So if anybody knows anything, do let me know. Maybe you're just in a comment or something. Anyway, we'll continue to pray for him. And if anybody else has prayer requests, do let me know. Fire them off in the comments and we'll get the prayer warriors on your side and send them up. That's about the size of it really now at the moment. There's nothing else for me to really do today. I've done everything I need to do. It's remarkable. I like having productive days when things get done. And I'm glad that the water people are back. I thought they just jettisoned me. But they're going to come back with specimen bottles once a week or something or other. Fill them up, send them off, get them tested, and then they'll work out what purification system to put in. And that box I was remonstrating about the other day, the chap that came today, Carl, he said he'll probably put that in, you know, once they've sorted out the purification system. So it's all happening, folks. I'm pleased to report there were no more sheep overnight. I boarded the house up anyway. Somebody said, why haven't you got any doors? Well, to put some doors in. Well, I'm not going to run to the expense of putting doors in that fit, to have to rip them out and put the doors I really want in, you know, in a year's time. So I've just put MDF up overnight, just halfway, so they can't get in. Anyway, this is lovely. I'm smoking Solani Silver Flake. Should have mentioned it earlier, really. Right, friends, I think I've spoken enough. Somebody also asked about the tobacco plants. They're doing very well, the ones that are doing well. So I'll take some footage of those, possibly tomorrow. Let you know how they're getting on. They're doing all right. I mean, there's enough there for a mini harvest, but a lot perished with using water that had been in the ICB where there'd been previously honey, which had begun to ferment, and they didn't like that water at all. But the ones who've survived, I think they'll be okay. I probably lost quite a lot though, not quite half my crop, and they were only the little ones I lost, but they did wither on the vine eventually. And it's entirely my fault. But again, I've never done this before. It's all new to me. I know exactly what I'm doing now with the tobacco. Next year's tobacco harvest will be even bigger. And with that, my friends, I'm going to love you and leave you. Father John signing out. God go with you. Be with you this weekend. Keep you, protect you. Make his face shine upon you. And all things being equal, I'll get back to you over the weekend. And perhaps read a chapter from my book. We'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, ta-ra. And you keep safe.